As politics continues over CBI's raids against Manish Sisodia, news just coming in that the Enforcement Directorate has stepped into this matter as well. ED is to shortly register an ECIR, which is the FIR version of Enforcement Directorate, related to action on Manish Sisodia. ED sources tell CNN News 18 that many in this case are alleged beneficiaries of proceeds of crime, including private individuals and public servants. ED to shortly ask for a copy of the FIR from the CBI and other details of the investigation. Once those details are available, Enforcement Directorate could proceed and lodge an ECIR. Ashish Merishi is getting us those details. So Ashish, they're saying this is not just a case of causing loss to Exchequer, but also money laundering.
So it looks to be, on the face of it, that is what my sources tell me in the Enforcement Directorate, that prima facie it looks to be that there are a number of proceeds of crime that have reached into private hand as well as public servants. So as we all know, that CBI obviously works under the Prevention of Corruption Act, but then the Enforcement Directorate, when it gets into the picture, they follow the money trail. And here the Enforcement Directorate has got some evidence with them already in their hand, which shows that there are certain proceeds of crime which has landed into the hands of private individuals as well as public servants, and that is why we can expect shortly big action by Enforcement Directorate as well as the CBI. Once the searches are over, we can expect in a few days from now, we can expect big action by the Enforcement Directorate as well.
And this could mean more trouble for the Aam Aadmi Party, because unlike CBI, if the ED goes into this matter, any confession made by any of these private individuals who are being raided would have evidentiary value in court of law.
So we've already seen in the past that the law of Prevention of Money Laundering Act is actually more tougher than the Prevention of Corruption Act. And in fact, they have the right to attach the assets, confiscate it, and arrest people. And getting bail on under Prevention of Money Laundering Act has again become very difficult for individuals. So we can expect big action from Enforcement Directorate in days to come from on Manish Sisodia and other individuals, and once they are able to get into the money trail and find out who the real beneficiaries are of the proceeds of crime, then obviously it's going to be tougher for Manish Sisodia and people involved into this entire excise policy scam. So obviously in days to come, it's going to be really tough for Aam Aadmi Party and Manish Sisodia.
And this is how it works. This is what the procedure is. Once the FIR is shared by CBI, then ED takes the first step, or can they do it independent of the CBI as well?
So with the, if you see, and there is an amendment that has been brought into the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, where the ED is allowed to register an ECIR, and then further they can request the other agency for an FIR. So essentially you need an FIR if you want to have a PMLA case, but in this case the FIR is already registered. So when I asked one of my sources in the Enforcement Directorate and a very senior fellow in Enforcement Directorate that whether are you going to investigate this matter, and the answer was, why not? It's an absolute case of money laundering, and it is absolutely visible that there are proceeds of crime which has landed into the hands of certain private individuals as well as public servants as well. So that is why the Enforcement Directorate is coming into the picture, and we can expect big time action in days to come.
Ashish, since you have been speaking to officers both in CBI and ED, piece together what is the conspiracy that is being alleged? How was this loss to the Exchequer caused as per CBI?
So it's not one violation, Arunima, there are many violations. Now, if you see, there is one during the COVID times.
Ashish, give me a moment. I think